toxic masculinity.
PBS station defends drag queen story hour for young children. This is disturbing, folks. This is very disturbing. All right, let's have a look at this. Yeah. PBS station defends drag queen story hour for kids ages 3 to 8 performing art that can inspire creative thinking. Oh, man. Okay. Let's have a look at this just so we can see what we're working with here.
We are going to sing and dance it out. So get your singing voices ready. And we're going to start with our hips. The hips on the drag queen go swish, swish, swish. Swish, swish, swish. Swish, swish, swish. The hips on the drag queen go swish, swish, swish. All through the town. The hair on the drag queen goes up, 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 up. The hair on the drag queen goes up, 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 all through the town.
All right, that's enough of that. I can't keep watching. Oh, man. So this guy calls himself Little Miss Hot Mess. Little Miss Hot Mess. That's what he called himself. And this is produced in partnership with WNET and the New York City Department of Education, and it aired on PBS. The dude's not even mic'd well. I mean, the production value is absolute crap. I mean, if you're going to make the excuse that, oh, well, we want to have inclusive broadcasting and blah, 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 at least provide content that is technically of some level of quality. It's not even that. It's just, there's some dude who's a drag queen who wants to make being a drag queen acceptable to young kids, which I don't think it should be. And I don't think most of you probably think that it should be either. No. Being a drag queen is not something that we should encourage kids to be. If a kid wants to dress up like a drag queen, we should probably discourage that because it's flippin' weird, all right? I'm sorry. This whole idea that, like, oh, everything needs to be accepted and everything needs to be encouraged and everything needs to be, like, we need to, like, be cool with everything. No, we don't. Okay, I've lived in LA for a long time. I've met a lot of different kind of people. I had a buddy once who met a girl who was in a burlesque show. Now, I had never been to a burlesque show. I didn't even know what it frickin' was. This is probably like in 2005, I think. So 2005, we went to this burlesque show because he wanted to film it for her, right? She wanted it filmed, and he was trying to get a date with this girl. So he was like, oh, yeah, I'll film it for you. And he was a sort of a meek guy. I think it was difficult for him to get women. So this was a way for him to, try to maybe get the girl to like him. So he employed me for free, obviously, because we're buddies. He was like, hey, can you come with me to this event and can we video it? And so I'll have this on video for her so that she can, I don't know, post it online, or I don't know what she wanted to do with it, but he was like, let's video it and make a nice, I'll cut it together and I'll make a nice thing for her. And I was like, okay. So we go to this burlesque show. And a lot of burlesque shows apparently are drag queens, right? That's like it's a common element in a burlesque show. And these guys that are doing this drag queen stuff, they're not necessarily like, they're not normal people. They're in, I mean, if I was going to assess it, I would say that these people need a lot of attention for some reason, right? There's probably some kind of trauma in childhood, something like that. And I think that's what this boils down to a lot of times. I think a lot of these guys have some kind of childhood trauma and they're working it out. I mean, I would imagine that if you were to conduct some kind of a survey on all the drag queens in America, every single one of them, you would find that there's probably not a single drag queen that didn't have some kind of trauma that they endured as a child, right? So this whole drag queen phenomena is probably some kind of a result of some kind of like um, mental illness or some kind of a, you know, an expression of some kind of a problem that they have, some kind of mental issue that they have. And so this idea that, oh, there are little kids who just naturally want to be drag queens, I don't think that's true, right? I think that that's something that happens to people through some kind of, when they get messed up, you know? So this idea that, okay, well, if you're a messed up person that wants to be a drag queen, let's then try to encourage kids to think that being a drag queen is cool or normal. Well, no, I actually think that if most drag queens are drag queens because they have some kind of unusual need for attention, or they have some kind of mental condition, or they have endured some kind of trauma as a kid, then I think everyone should recognize that those drag queens are people who have maybe a sad story. You should maybe have sympathy for them, but we should certainly not treat it as normal, right? It's like there's all kinds of mental illness. There's all kinds of issues that people have. You should never tell your kids like, oh, that's normal, when it isn't, right? You should never say, oh, you see that guy over there that's like screaming at nobody next to him and, you know, bashing his head in with a, you know, with a plate. That's normal. That's normal behavior. Yeah, that looks crazy. I know it looks crazy, but no. It's totally normal. And in fact, you should like it. You should think that's really cool. I'm sure that guy's written a children's book. We should read the children's book. Crazy Larry on the street corner, bashing his head in with a plate and screaming at the invisible guy next to him. Why are we writing children's books about drag queens? Why are we having children's shows about drag queens? It's so stupid. I mean, they did this a little while ago. They had like a drag queen story hour program where like they would go to, I think, kids' houses and birthday parties and stuff and read drag queen children's books to them. And then it turned out that the guy who was running this company ended up being a pedophile, ended up having to go to court for this, or I don't know if he's been convicted yet, but this was a recent story. You know, you're playing with fire, folks. I mean, encouraging kids to think that grown men with mental illness who dress like women, that's like a normal thing. That's not good. That's not a good thing. You should not teach your kids that. But let's have a look here. A PBS station in New York is defending its decision to air a children's program featuring a prancing drag queen. The program features a drag queen named Little Miss Hot Mess promoting his perverted book titled The Hips on the Drag Queen Go Swish, Swish, Swish. Jeez. The book features a drag queen with a blue mustache named Cinderfella. Sane adults see this as grooming. Well, that's right. That's exactly what it is. But PBS is defending the degeneracy as performance art. You know, you could defend murder as performance art. You could. I'm just saying. I wrote this book because I wanted everybody to get to experience the magic of drag and to get a little practice shaking their hips or shimmying their shoulders to know how we can feel fabulous inside of our own bodies, said Little Miss Hot Mess. The perverted performance, I love how they keep calling it perverted in this article. I love the Gateway Pundit. The perverted performance was part of a Let's Learn TV series produced with WNET and the New York Department of Education geared toward children ages 3 to 8. Jeez. The program strives to incorporate themes that explore diversity and promote inclusivity, which are relevant to education and society. Drag is performance art that can inspire creative thinking and the questioning of stereotypes. Little Miss Hot Mess is the author of the book. The hips on the drag queen go swish, swish, swish. She serves on the global leadership team of Drag Queen Story Hour and has hosted readings at numerous libraries, children's museums, and schools across the country. Jeez. Anyway, all right, but it gets worse, ladies and gentlemen, because we have an even more disgusting story for you today. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. Crochet penises. But they're not crochet penises for messed up adults. These are crochet penises that are intended for children. I'm not joking. This is a real thing. Okay. Crafter, a crafter, somebody who crafts things, I guess, offers Bitty Bug Soft Packer crochet penis pattern for young trans and non-binary children. Jeez. Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.